Hey there, it's Emily, and I was planning on getting an early night, but then I laid in bed, and then I started thinking, and then I thought, why don't I make a YouTube video on what I'm thinking about? As you may notice, it is practically Christmas, and I still have my Halloween decorations up in the background, and that's probably not going to change because I like them. I was laid in bed, and I was thinking about how I feel like my channel is constantly going through an identity crisis. Now, I say my channel, what I really mean is what I want to put onto my channel. When I made my channel, I was like, oh, I'll just put whatever I want onto my channel, and I still feel like that now, but there's parts of me which are like, oh, you should do more vloggy things, or you just speak your mind, or oh, you should try and make everything really creative and inventive and like fantastic. Just because I admire those videos so much. Just like, I want to be that, but I'm not. So let's try not to be something I'm not. But the thing is that I also really enjoy making talky videos like this, where I just kind of spew out random opinions and random thoughts that have just kind of arrived in my brain at random intervals. So I was thinking about what type of videos I wanted on my channel, because I always feel conflicted about making videos, and that means that I'm always putting off making videos, which we all know is bad. But lots of people have very specialized channels, I guess you could put it like that. So you have people who specifically make a channel for gaming, or specifically make a channel for vlogging their daily life, or specifically make a channel for sketches and stuff. But then you've got my channel, which is just kind of like, I've got some daily life stuff, and I've got some vloggy stuff, and I've got some, I guess, creative stuff. Kind of all mishmashes together, and then I look back on it and I'm like, but it's kind of confusing. Is it confusing? Because my channel is supposed to be a representation of me through the years. This whole Essener stuff, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name, which has arisen lately. I feel like everyone knows where she's coming from, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with her in the whole social media is bad, but it's very shaming towards social media. Everyone wants validation from people, let's face it. When I make something, I put it out onto the internet, and when it gets quite a few views or a few comments, I feel good about it, because it's like I put effort into this and people are noticing that and are showing their appreciation for what I've done, and that's how I view it. That's what the, like, I guess the likes and the views and the comments mean to me. But I guess because where she came from on social media was, well, from what I gathered, it was from like the modelling perspective, so it was more about her body image. And as someone who created this channel and just generally on social media to express my personality and opinions, I haven't really viewed the numbers and the statistics quite the same way as her, whereas she, I guess, felt the numbers were validation for what she looked like. I kind of see them as validation for what I'm creating. Validation in the positive sense. As I explained before, it's I put effort into this and you're appreciating that, and blah 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 blah. This is just one long tangent, this video. Yeah, it started off with my channel having an identity crisis, but along the way I started talking about her video because it kind of all links in. What she said in her video was she was very specific about the types of things she put online. I guess it was very specific around what she looked like and the way the videos were scripted and how she was perceived online, whereas my videos so far have basically just been, here's a mishmash of who I am and this is my life. Woo, yeah, good. And I think depending on the way you approach things, it depends on the way you view those statistics and numbers and comments and the views and the likes and blah 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 blah. And the way she approached things was very much, I don't want to say self-centered, because you don't do it for the validation, you do it because you enjoy it, ultimately. That's why everyone starts, I think, most people anyway. What I'm coming to here is that I'm confused about my channel's identity, but then I realised, or have realised very recently whilst rambling, that even though my channel is a collection of loads of random bits and bobs, it actually just represents who I am and that was the point in the first place. And I think I'm going to continue that, because having an ideology of who I am online and creating content around a specific a specific thing isn't, I think, the way forward to try and achieve what I want to, and what I think Essener, I feel like I'm just saying her name wrong, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, felt like she couldn't achieve through social media. Before I make a video, I always think, is this good enough? And that is a good thought to have, but it depends on what type of video it is, because there's so many different types of videos, and even if you are in the same category as someone else, your video is still going to be a different type of video, because everyone creates their videos differently. Everyone has a different style, even though it's all in the same category, is what I'm trying to get across. I was on Tumblr and I was looking at a bunch of fan art, and I was just thinking, when I create fan art, I never feel like it's good enough, because when I draw or write, I feel like I'm copying, and I always feel kind of bad for that. But then I realise that even if you do copy someone's work, obviously give them credit, your line placement and the way you colour and the way you perceive the world is all going to be different, so it's never going to come out the same. And even if you replicated the same picture 100 times, it's always going to turn out slightly different. And it's the same with going to see like a live play at the West End or something. Every time you see it, it's going to be slightly different, just because you can't replicate things exactly. And that's one of the things I love about the creative industry, is that no matter how many times the same thing is done, it's always going to be slightly different. And where the whole thing with YouTube isn't creative enough and everybody's stealing each other's ideas, yes, stealing is bad, credit people. Even if you do take the idea and do it yourself, obviously it's not going to be 100% original. It's always going to be done in your own way, and it's always going to end up in your style, because that's just what it's like being creative. You can't be the same or do the same as anyone else. I'm going to link this back to the start of the video where I was talking about my channel identity. I should just stop worrying about the type of video I put out, because I appreciate certain types of videos because they're done by certain people and that's how I like them, and start just making them how I want to, making what I want. If that makes sense? I'm not sure if that makes sense. I hope it makes sense. It makes sense to me. That was my mind process tonight, going through a channel identity crisis, which I feel like I'm going through constantly, because as I change as a person, my channel style is going to change very slightly in every single edit and every single upload and every single time I film. I'm never going to be exactly the same person. There are going to be certain traits and characteristics that are the same, but my opinions are going to change, and slight things about my parents are going to change, and blah 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 blah. You've cemented your identity in the past by putting it online, so it's like uploading something else is kind of changing who people previously thought you were, and who you previously thought you were, really, because that was you at the time, and it is still you, but just a slight variation of you. So that's my channel identity crisis sorted for today anyway. I'll probably think about it some more tonight and tomorrow and for as long as I make videos, but at least you know this kind of thought process I go through. I hope you all had a good Halloween. If you have any good Halloween fun stories, mention it below, because I just love stories. Let's have a big discussion about Halloween, because so many people are denying that it's Christmas right now. If you don't celebrate Christmas, it isn't Christmas for you. But for all of you who do celebrate Christmas, be festive with me. Join me, my festive pals. And I guess that's it from me. See you next time I bother to not get an early night and procrastinate for my biology revision. Yeah. Yes. Anyway.